The S&P futures were up over 1.6%. You had the Nasdaq up over almost close to 3% before the market backed off towards the end of the day. We had gold up. The gold GLDs were up very strong here. They were up about 2% here. Overall, the market very strong. Intel faded at the end of the day. What was the number one stock, in my opinion? SpaceX was trading today. It opened and traded down to 169 SPCX. You can see here the stock. If I can bring up the data, you can see the stock open here today at where is it? Right here. It opened right here. It opened at 175, dropped to 168, rallied. Every pullback was a buy here. You can see on SpaceX, and you can see the stock was very, very, very strong. It popped here again at around 1155, dropped to 73, and then just never looked back. And every pullback on the stock. Now it is going to be added to the S&P, to the Nasdaq 100 index, so that's going to be an unbelievable pop there. Also, SanDisk, very strong. The number one stock with the most overbought condition, SanDisk. In the history of RSI, this stock is significantly overbought. On Thursday, we have $5.4 trillion worth of options expiration. Options expiring. The Qs are up 60 points in 3 days. So just going to give you a little tidbit there. The markets, in my opinion, again, what did we gain on this? To me, I think this is a complete joke. Market rallied here. I would be looking, even if the market pushed higher, I think this is a joke. Oil price is going to take some time to get back down to the 50 level, where gasoline, even the great state of Florida, would be around 250, 245, 260 a gallon. Talking to people in the industry, they say that they're going to sign on Friday. Okay, but the uranium is still there. They're not going to give up the uranium. They don't want to give up potential nuclear warheads if they build them in the future. So to me, I think this is a complete joke. And guess what? There's no shorts left. So I think the markets are eventually going to get absolutely cabooshed off this. Now tomorrow, Wednesday, the Fed is going to talk about interest rates. Japan is going to raise interest rates tonight, 1/4 point. England, the ECB raised last week. So for me, I think that the market potentially has one hike left in it. And then I think sometime in 2027, they may do some cuts here. But again, the market very frothy, in my opinion. Yes, can you go to another 200, 300, 400 points on the upside? But I would not be a buyer here. I think the market pushed down to 7,300, popped up 300 points on the S&P. Nasdaq went from 28,300, rallied, roughly 2,500 points here. If you look here, you can see the Nasdaq, the way it rallied here off the daily. Was deeply oversold here. You can see that the 28,300, 28,500. Well, there was a roll. So even though you still rallied 2,300 points on the Nasdaq, nice little bear flag setting up here as well. But overall, the markets were strong. There was great patterns today, and that's the most important thing. So I'm going to show you some really great patterns here on Coinbase here. Okay. Let's bring up the 5 and the 30 and the 5-minute time frames here. We'll bring up the 60. When Coinbase reversed to buy here on the 15-minute time frame, sorry about that. When Coinbase reversed to buy here, okay, you can see Coinbase was in a positive trend here, coming in, and then we got this really, really beautiful. Once these ADXs are rising, and you get this pullback 170 here, you can see the move up to 174. That's 5 points. And once these MACDs start crossing negative, it's a tell sign here, especially on the 15. It really didn't have much room to go here. 171 ran, you can see it here, drop 171.23, and then ultimately these 60-minute time frames are going to look like they're going to turn up tomorrow here. But very, very strong pattern here on Coinbase, especially off the 60-minute. Now, coming into the day, I said We had 30-minute bull flags on Friday on AMD, on Micron, on SanDisk. And if you look here, this was the big bull flag, and on Intel. These were the bull flags I was calling at the end of the day. We happened to go home long one of the names, Intel, and we sold that near the highs of the day on the opening. So, but these bull flags are very important. When you see this pattern here, if I show you Micron, SanDisk, and AMD and Intel, they're all the identical same pattern. So this is where the market really took off on that. Also, if you look here today, you can look at Broadcom. Sorry, it was Broadcom I wanted to show you. AVGO. Okay, it's been a long day. I'll tell you that. Okay. If you look at Broadcom, the 60-minute reverses to buy with the MACD below the pivot, the 30 reverses to buy. So what do you look to do? You buy the first pullback here on the 15-minute time frame. Look at this monster, beautiful bull flag. Boom, there's 5. Here's another pullback here on Broadcom 91. Boom, here's another 4. So almost $7 or $8 on Broadcom, especially when these 60-minute time frames reverse to buy. Really great patterns there. So again, this is what we look for when you get the buy reversal on the 60-minute time frame, and then you get the push, you get the pullback on the 15, and that's exactly what a bull flag at 11 o'clock, monster long there on Broadcom. Also, if you look at Bitcoin today, last one, we'll show you Bitcoin here. Okay, you can see Bitcoin, really great pullback here on the 15-minute time frame. This is a monster bull flag. This is the 10-15 pattern 60. You can see here 66,000 under 300, and look at this pop here. Okay, almost 900, almost 1,000 points on Bitcoin. Beautiful long pattern. The ADXs were rising on the 30 and the 60, and up and away. Okay, all right. Also, what else? Okay, so when I get back, I'll tell you what I expect for tomorrow. So for tomorrow, we're looking at to see here, because remember, Wednesday is the FOMC first meeting with the new Fed chairman. But overall, I think the market it's really just him just talking. I don't think he's going to raise rates or cut rates or anything like that. But for tomorrow, if you look here, the 60-minute MACD, look at this monster gap here. I mean, literally 740. Look at this, boom here in the low. So they're up 11. I got all these gaps below the market. These gaps will get filled, trust me. But if you look here on the 30-minute time frame, you can see the algorithm, the oscillator is looking like it's going to turn up. So there could be some more continuation to the upside tomorrow. Again, if that happens, I think that the market is in for, I think the market should be looking to short here, especially with the negative MACDs on the 30-minute time frame here. You see it, and also on the 15. So if you do get any type of overbought condition with a into these negative MACDs here, I think that the market pretty much is going to run into a brick wall, and that's exactly what I think is going to happen here. So again, the number one thing is to be able to identify these negative divergences, even if you're in a positive trend. So if we do get any push up tomorrow, now if we do get a push down tomorrow, it might be where the 60-minute time frame set up a nice bull flag and get another push up towards the end sometime during the day. All right. When I get back, I want to tell you something that you really need to know, and that is the skill of being prepared. So when you come in every morning, the number one thing that I do is I just look around. I look at the bigger time frames. I'm mentally prepared. I want to see if there's any divergences up and or down, and I want to be able to identify the bigger time frames, the 60, the 30, the 15-minute time frames on the continuous contract. What's really important is that by being mentally prepared, it gives me the ability to understand the condition of the market. So I knew I was on an uptrend, okay, on a positive trend on all three time frames, 15, 30, and 60. But mostly, what do you want to do, and how do you want to apply the next strategy? You have the condition. Now we look for the divergences off of our indicator 1, off of our indicator 3, and we're going to be able to identify these moves by looking at the bigger time frame. So be mentally prepared. Know what economic numbers are coming out at 8:30 or 10 o'clock, or even if there's any bond bond data coming out at 1 o'clock, which is usually Wednesday or Thursday. But again, being mentally prepared for the game and learning and seeing what is in front of you before the market opens is very important on the bigger time frames. Thank you for joining me today on the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do so. If you like to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. Also, I'll be hosting tonight the My Fund of Futures this week from Monday through Thursday. Friday we're off, but I will be live streaming from 8:30 to 12 when the CME closes, or 1, whatever. But also, if you'd like to join me during the night session from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, Monday through Thursday, please go to My Fund of Futures TV. I am hosting the Asia session. Also, you can go to the SK Trading YouTube. If you'd like to follow me on social media, please follow me at official Stephen Kalayjian on Instagram, X, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And if you'd like to get a 5-day free trial to my live stream every day, 8:30 to 4, please text me your full name and email to my personal cell phone number, which is 914-500-7484. With that being said, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I know I'm a little late. God bless you. God bless our troops. And God bless the United States of America. Take care, everybody.